Hello guys, welcome back. It's Christian from Emotions in Wine. Today, as you have seen, we go back to the origins of the channel, Croatia, specifically Korčula Island, because Pošip, which is the most famous white grape in Croatia, is originally from there. I will explain a lot of things that are not that known, even for quite experts. I haven't been to Korčula before. I went only in 2024 and it was a huge surprise to me. I fell in love with that place for everything, including the people, besides the places, the island itself with the diversity and the wine and the oil and the restaurants also, of course the fresh seafood. So it's an amazing place. It's a sort of big island offering a lot of things. So we taste two wines, both from Korčula. Pošip nowadays, was the first white wine with the appellation recognition in Yugoslavia days in 1967. It's considered by majority the best and most representative white grape from Croatia, but now it's planted in the whole of Dalmatia. And I must admit, after I made a bit of experience in tastings, the best Pošips from Korčula don't have any other rival. There are some good ones in other islands, like Brač and Hvar, so neighboring islands. Then on the mainland, also some good ones. But honestly, the top 3-4 from Korčula are unbeatable for me. I'm sure 100% after that trip last summer. If you want to know more, you can go to watch back those videos. The quality of the videos was approximate because it was the beginning. I had especially audio issues, but you can see a lot of things in that trip, so it can be interesting to know more. Of course, here I give more info because now I know more. There is still this big problem. Websites of these wineries in Croatia, most don't give much info, but of course when you go there, you meet them, you talk to the winemakers, you have more first-hand information is another story, even knowing better the soils, etc. So both of them, as I said, from there, but the two wineries are different. So we start with Volarević, which is in Komarna region, which is the newest region on the mainland, just opposite to Pelješac. So basically Korčula, Pelješac, and then the mainland. So it's nearby, they have the sea in front too. And it's the newest region in Croatia, about 17 years, something like that. So the winery has that kind of lifespan. They do all organic there in Komarna, that is very limestone, steep, rocky slopes. But Pošip, they still source from Korčula Island. Not many do make Pošip there. They focus on Plavac Mali, the red grape, in the Komarna region. So the Pošip is from Korčula. It's not known how they source it, if they have their own vineyards, or most probably they buy the grapes from some farmers, etc. There are some technical info about the production, we'll see later, but that's it. So anyway, winery out of the island, but wine from the island. And then Tasovac, which is the one I know since last summer, which is one of the top upcomers in Korčula, very tiny, just about 15,000 bottles now. It's already 2-3 years that they are coming up. Probably 23 vintage was the consecration of their, let's say, fame at this point, because as I tried, probably is one of the 2-3 best on the island. And focused on Pošip. Of course, then they make other wines in the island, but the focus is that they have a couple of Pošip, then they have Grk made in the middle of the island where Pošip is made, while Grk usually is in a tiny corner of the island, and some Plavac Mali, of course. Then they make also olive oil. So they are really one of the representatives of Korčula. So Korčula is really a microcosm offering a lot. You must go there. If you love Croatia, that is a destination that you cannot miss for many different reasons, besides the Pošip. Pošip So the history of wine in Korčula has about 25 centuries. So with the Greeks before the Romans, they brought apparently the grapes there. And Pošip is a real indigenous grape that was created by the natural, so not human influence, natural crossing of two local varieties. And humans just discovered this by DNA. And Pošip probably was the nature creating something more resistant, more quality, expressive in those tough conditions, because it's very Mediterranean climate, not much rain, very hot in the summer. So it's very particular. Of course, the sea breezes help, especially at nighttime, but Pošip is a perfect representation of what you can have in the Mediterranean with good acidity. That is thanks to one of the parents' grapes, which had higher acidity. Even with that warm environment, alcohol can go high because the sugar can be high, but the acidity is still always good. Of course, they harvest early, nighttime usually, to keep cool the grapes, and both the wineries do maceration at the beginning, cool maceration, so to extract a bit more. Majority of the production is in the middle of the island, as you can see. Chara village and Smokvica are the two main. They are in the middle, so there is a flat part, as you can see, some steep slopes on the sides, and then even the slopes facing the sea. That is very rocky. Limestone is the base, with mostly red clay or sand, depending on the area. And of course, those steep slopes instead are much more rock, and those of course give for sure much more minerality. So let's start. I opened the bottles some time ago, but I didn't want to keep them breathing too much. It's white wines, fresh vintage, so it's okay. So Volarević Pošip 23, 12.5 alcohol. They do 6-12 hours skin contact, so maceration, to extract more, and the alcohol remains still quite low. I guess they have some farmers sourcing them under their instructions. Volarević is considered one of the top 2 wineries now in Komarna. They don't have a background in the wine, they have other, but still in the farming industry. But the young guy, one of the brothers, his winemaker, seems quite good. So let's see. The color is yellow, still a touch of green reflection on the rim, but also turning a bit to gold. Is 23 now start to be quite mature, because they are all in bottle 8-10 months depending. First impression is interesting, fruit, some herbal, which is quite characteristic of the grape, touch of mineral. Fruit is a bit of white and red. There is a touch of lemon, but even something more like melon. Quite elegant, quite interesting, discrete complexity. After the fermentation, they do aging on the fine leaves, so that usually give a bit of richness, but already the skin contact. Nowadays, many white wines are with 0 skin contact. For me, few hours is always interesting, because extract a bit more. Then of course depends on the style of the wine and even the acidity levels, etc. Because if you have higher acidity, you can do extract a bit more, because extraction means a bit richer, so it's a counterbalance to the acidity. The result is quite interesting. on the palate is already quite rounded. Medium persistence, not impressive. Pleasant, leaving that freshness. Now is more on some floral and herbal than the fruit. Not intense, medium intensity. Yeah, balance, quite round, still keep salivating, medium length, the mineral fresh, still there. You have a touch of sweet fruit also in the rounding. So it's a good aperitif, for sure, great pair with most seafood dishes, but not that structured wine. This is, I think, more an expression of an approachable Pošip. Of course, tendentially is said to be quite structured. If compared to other white wines from Croatia, I found it more in every way, more structure, more complexity, more everything. This one is in between. It's not that complex, not that structured. The texture is quite gentle. Changing, I still a bit more on the herbal. Quite round already. Also, the aging potential is not huge because it's already very smooth. So I guess it evolved already from last summer in these months. So it's a wine to drink, not to keep there and forget for some years. It's still a very nice expression of Pošip from Korčula, but in general, as I said before, there are some very top even in other islands nearby or even in Komarna, somewhere else. But it's not one of the very best for me, even if it's mentioned to be one of the very good. Price is reasonable. In Croatia, I paid it about 20 euros, and I forgot exactly because it was some time ago. So around 20, can be a bit more or a bit less. So it's okay, considering then that they source the grapes from the island and then they are at a certain distance location, so everything has an influence. The transportation is not that simple task. So overall, a nice wine, indeed. So let's go to Tasovac. Pošip 23, as I said, this is 13 alcohol. As said before, all the production is in the middle of the island, Chara and Smokvica. Of course, Volarević, they source the grapes there, but the winery is on the mainland, while Tasovac is on the island, but the winery is near Korčula town. So in the northeastern corner of the island, while the vineyards are in the middle. As said, limestone is the base, then clay, some sandy. Those steep slopes can be very rocky. Tasovac has a couple of key points. 30 years old average age of the vine, so that is very good because it's already a good age to give more complexity, to extract more even minerals from the rocks because the roots dig into. And they have the vineyards in different locations, so I guess some on the flat, some on the steep, so making it a bit more complex wine. They do also some maceration, not specified exactly, I guess also about a day or less. The color is slightly richer. There is still a greenish rim, but is a bit more golden touch, so even that indicates a bit of maceration, skin contact. Then we will see the rest. This I know also because I know the winery, as I said. Quite different from the other, immediately. First thing, fruit. Both white and some yellow. So you have some, even here, lemon zest, something like that, but some touch of apricot, I would say, or melon also here. So quite intense, cannot say aromatic, semi-aromatic nose. Then the mineral is coming out, and the herbal that I recall from last summer. First thing I can say, since I didn't taste it from last summer, so 5-6 months, didn't change a lot, which is very good because it means that the wine can age very well, because after several months of bottles, fresh wines usually start to change and develop. This evolved very little, so this has a good aging potential in bottle. Yeah, now the herbs marking. The herbs, the mineral. So already quite good complexity and good intensity. Elegant. Very long. Good depth. Good freshness. They declare 6 of acidity, which is quite good, especially in Mediterranean area. So there is a slight residual sugar because it's more structured, this wine, even having other wines. I guess a good part on clay, which give more structure naturally. So to avoid to go above 13 alcohol, they leave slight sugar also because the acidity is a bit higher than many other wines. For sure a bit higher than this one. So the balance is already good. Good depth, good balance. You have the freshness, but even a bit the roundness. So a bit more balanced than last summer, when the vibrancy of the minerality and acidity was more evident, but it's still showing youth. So still didn't change much. Yeah, more on the herbal. There's quite a lot of herbal notes here. That is very interesting, giving also a touch of bittery. I remember even last summer. So it's Mediterranean herbs. The structure is good. Good structure, good depth. It's a bit rounder, but still you feel, keep salivating, so you feel the acidity, the minerality. So it's a great aperitif wine, great seafood match because of the structure, even those a bit with sauces, richer dishes, perfect match. I reconfirm what I said already in those videos from the trip. Is an outstanding wine, value for money, because this is 15 euros ex cellar, so retail, but in the cellar, in shop was about 20, I remember, but still reasonable. And the winery is confirming that they are doing a great job and growing in popularity. So I continue to think that is one of the top around the area and one of the top for Pošip. Still keep changing a bit, so the complexity is quite good. Very elegant, more than before. Now you have little fruit and more on the herbs, so it's even more elegant. At the beginning was the impact of the fruit and this bittery touch. Very pleasant. Yeah, this has an interesting aging potential. I think can stay in bottle and express more. So they're doing an amazing job. I reconfirm that is one of my best Pošips so far. This is a good one. Let's say one of the best, but this is one of the top 3-5 maximum. Even considering the couple of very good out of Korčula Island. I hope you enjoyed, guys. And like, subscribe, comment please, and see you next time. Salute!